Welcome, Mockingbirds. This is Tequila Mockingbird. I bastardize great literature, and by great literature, I mean children's books. About a year and a half ago, I became a mom, and of course, like every mother, it just needs to happen that you need to start a mommy blog. Although this mommy blog is about how weird children's books are. I don't know if this is going to be a thing throughout. I don't know how sustainable it is, but I do believe I'm funnier when I'm a little buzzed. Alright, the first book that I'm going to look at started this whole idea, and I know people are going to get upset about it because it is literally a national treasure. And just because it's a national treasure does not mean it is not worth making fun of. Drum roll, please. Goodnight Moon. Now, this is a weird book. It's not as weird as Millions, Billions, and Trillions of Cats, which, stay tuned, will be an episode. But it's a little weird. I don't know. I didn't grow up with it when I was a kid. I don't know why. But as I was reading it to Ginny, my daughter, I thought it was quite weird. I just don't get it. And I wonder if the reason why I think it's weird is because I didn't grow up with it. Now, first of all, I want to say, like I said at the top, just because I'm making fun of it does not mean it's a great book. Ginny loves it. She always picks it up before night time, and that's okay. That's okay that you love it. That's okay that you don't think it's weird. It's okay that you think it's weird, because it's a little weird. So I do want to say that Margaret Wise Brown is pretty cool. She was born in 1910, and she went to college, and I read somewhere that she studied speech patterns, and she wrote Goodnight Moon, how children speak, and I'm wondering if that's why it's so weird. Another note is the pictures are by Clement Hurd, and I read the reason why it's bunnies is because he could not draw people. So he could, I guess, draw bunnies. I don't know if he's specialized in bunnies, because to be honest, I am not an artist, but I don't think the bunnies are really great in this either. And I also don't know why they just wouldn't pick someone who could draw people. But anyways, let's dive in to Goodnight Moon after a sip. So I'm not quite sure why this is so weird to me. I do believe it's the colors, because although, as you can see, my bedroom is green, it is not the shade of this green. I don't know what it is about this green and the matchy-matchy, but it looks like a fever dream, to be honest. And I do think someone had mentioned, because I put this post on Facebook, because I was a little afraid to say how weird this book is, and apparently people agree with me. Someone did mention that she had dreamt this, and that's why the colors are like this, and that's why it looks like a nightmare, because it was. We're in a great green room, and there was a telephone. I'm not quite sure why the telephone is of note. I'm wondering, or I can't remember, but I'm wondering if it's for rhyming reasons. Who is this kid calling? There is also a red balloon, which makes me question what happened before. Was there a party? Why does he have a red balloon? Is the red balloon always in his room? Does he always have to say goodnight to a red balloon? And if so, do they have a helium tank to fill the balloon every night? Because that would be a lot. This annoys me, and I will get to it in a minute, because of the rhyming scheme. But, and then there are 3 little bears sitting on chairs. And speaking about drawing, someone who can't draw people can't really draw bears either. Not being judgmental, although I'm definitely am. These bears' faces are real weird. Hey, I just friggin' noticed this. There's a picture of a cow jumping over the moon. You can't really see it, but that is totally this picture. Holy crap, we are in different dimensions. So, okay, my question is then, okay, because I also have a theory at the end of or closer to the end that I don't want to spoil yet. But, A, are these 3 bears friends, family? Like, is this picture not like an artistic picture, but like a picture of friends or family? Because, and now I think it's actually happening because they have a picture of the moon, the cow jumping over the moon. And that also brings me to another point. What are they doing? They're just sitting there? They're just looking at each other. There's nothing in the room. Did they just move in? They're just sitting and staring. What is happening in this room? And then also, if it's like a photograph instead of like a painting, then why are people just photographing them sitting in a room with just 3 chairs and this cow jumping over the moon? And that's why I'm wondering too, because they're bunnies, and this is obviously an animal world, who are these bears? First question, where is the old lady saying hush? Where did she go? We haven't set her up yet, but she is there and then not there and then there and then not there. So what is she doing? Because I would not be able to go to sleep if that was the case, if someone was going in and out of my room. But this is where I want to point out something that I notice and kind of ties back to the bears. There is a doll. It is a human doll. So that must mean there are humans in this universe. So what is their relation to this bunny? Like, are humans, is this a doll that's like how kids have animals? Or is this, first of all, it's naked and it's terrifying. But second of all, why does this bunny rabbit have a human doll? And I know we can probably say, like, at first they were trying to draw people and that didn't work out because apparently Clement Hurd can't draw people. But why did they keep it? Was it an oversight? We will find out. Well, no, we won't find out, actually. It's never, talked about. This is just generally, we don't know where the woman is. They're setting up the rhyme, which is one of the problems that I have with this book. We're setting up the rhymes to say goodnight to them at the end, but then there's like some weird rhyme scheme. So we got the kittens, we got the mittens, we got the young mouse, we got the house. And again, I think I read something about why it's like color and not color, color and not color. I don't know why. I'm not sure if it bothers me or if it's good because the bright red and green scheme is a lot. So I do kind of like that there is a break. So there's a comb, there's a brush, there's a bowl of mush, which, in the morning, it is going to be crusty and old, and I don't know why we're saving it right now. Gross. And there's a woman saying, hush, shh, go to sleep, shut up, shh, shh. The terrifying doll is right where we left it. That's a good thing. It's not moving around the room. There's also another doll down here with hair. Not so terrifying, but another human doll. And also, this just is fascinating me. I do want to focus on this picture. It looks like a rabbit in galoshes going fishing with a child, which I'm assuming it's the child in bed. But I don't know if the child is in the water, if it's the child is jumping. But it is in the water, and you can't really see it. But on the line, on the fishing line, is a carrot. So this rabbit believes he's going to catch something with a carrot. So, I mean, I guess bringing back to the question with this, is this a fish rabbit that he's trying to catch, or is it actually his son? What are you going to catch with a carrot? What animals are living in this world? I did also want to point out there is some sort of animal rug in this child's room. So again, going back to the animal versus humans, and the picture of the bears and the doll, the human doll. This kid's room has a rug that is an animal. So is there a hierarchy of animals? Like, or is this family murderers? Like, we wouldn't put human skin on our floor for a rug. Normal people wouldn't put human skin on the floor for a rug. And I just have to, like, what animal is this? It's not a tiger because A, it's yellow. B, the stripes are like fully connected. Leopards have spots. We never see its face. But also, going back to the fact that there seems to be an animal hierarchy, we have the kittens. So these bunnies own kittens, and they're friends with bears. Or they're not. I'm not quite sure. But this is very interesting. What is the hierarchy? Also, apparently this baby is going to bed at 7:20. I don't know who gets their children in bed before 10 o'clock, but it's not this person. Holy crap! I just saw this book is Goodnight Moon. So, in this universe, oh my god. This book exists. So this kid is reading about himself saying goodnight to his room. Okay, this is where I have a problem with the whole rhyme scheme. So apparently the moon is rising like a sun because, as you can see, it was a little down. It was farther down and now it's rising. But my issue is with what we are reading. It says, Goodnight Moon. Goodnight cow jumping over the moon. Nothing annoys me more than when you have a rhyme scheme. Nothing annoys me more than when you have a rhyme scheme and you rhyme the same word with the same word. Like, there's a lot of things. We have balloon. We already established the balloon. I know we say goodnight later on to the balloon, but why do you need to say goodnight moon, goodnight cow jumping over the moon? Maybe the bears could be in a saloon. Goodnight saloon. Baboon. I'm humming a tune. No. Tune? Moon? It is 7:40 and this child is still saying goodnight to his room. Go to sleep. The woman in the chair is not saying hush. She's saying shut the F up. Just lay down in your freaking bed. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, bears, just staring at each other doing nothing in a room. Alright, blah, blah, blah. Good night, kittens. Good night, mittens. Good night, comb. Good night, brush. Like, seriously, there's other things in the room that you could be saying good night to. Like, good night, animal rug that we murdered. But this is where I just get, I don't know. I do not like the goodnight moon, goodnight cow jumping over the moon rhyme scheme. That annoys me. But this is where I get a little weirded out. We're saying goodnight to the mittens. We're saying goodnight to the kittens. We're saying goodnight to the brush. We're saying goodnight to the comb and whatever. And then just randomly, and I'm going to blame, again, the artist who could not draw humans for this page. Then just randomly, we have no rhyme scheme. We have nothing to prepare us for this page. Just randomly, we just say, good night, nobody. Is there a ghost? Why are we saying good night, nobody? Oh my gosh, I just had a realization. The book is saying goodnight to us. Because obviously this book is referential. They know they're a book. They have the book. And they're saying goodnight, nobody. As in we don't exist. Okay, that's too much for a children's book, but I'm going to say I hate this page. I believe he couldn't draw anything more, and therefore he just put this page. There was nothing setting us up for this nobody. And then finally, not finally, we're not done with this book. Goodnight mush. So again, do we need to say goodnight like the balloon? Do we need to say goodnight to the mush? So does the woman saying hush need to make mush every night so this child can say goodnight to it? I feel for this old woman saying hush. Like, I've been there. I've been there sitting and rocking while your child is staring at you. And again, things they don't set up. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Okay, kid. Now you're just reaching for things. Now you are just reaching things so you don't need to go to bed, and I'm sick of it. I am done saying hush. I am done knitting. I am leaving. If you want to say goodnight to the molecules, then go ahead. I am leaving. And of course, the end, goodnight noises everywhere, which makes me like this book because we're saying goodnight, and apparently the old woman left because she has better things to do.